Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is S'mores Cabin by, I forget, Caribou. That's it. Caribou coffee. Very good, especially with some chocolate caramel creamer. So today's high is only going to be 62, and it's only going to be in the upper 50s, lower 60s the whole week. So, yep, fall is here. It's happening fast now. And the days are getting shorter already, which is a big part of what I don't like about winter, other than the cold, freezing weather. But it is what it is. So, my days of working in the garden are numbered. I still have to cover up a few things and trim a couple of rows of Sharon in the front yard, but not too much more to do out there. So I'm hoping to get things pretty much wrapped up this week, and I have to break down my fountain because when it's in the 50s and 60s, I won't be sitting outside anymore. So, and we could have a warm-up yet, but if that's the case, then I'll just, take a chair out there and sit there for a little bit if that's what I want to do. So I'm not sure what I'm doing today, other than I'll do a little bit in the garden. I have a bunch of dirty dishes in the sink because I didn't empty my dishwasher yesterday. So that'll be one of my chores for this morning before I go out in the garden. Because right now it's a little bit too chilly. So I have to go take my mom shopping this week too. I try and take her once a week. And she already called and said she needs tomatoes. She goes through a lot of tomatoes, and she did grow a couple of tomato plants this year in a big pot. So that's the gardening she's gone down to now. At 95, she used to have a good-sized garden, but at 95 she can't do that anymore, so she just has a couple big pots, and she puts a couple peppers and a couple tomatoes in there, grows some parsley, and that's it for her gardening. So, and I imagine one of these days I'll get to that point too, but I'm not quite there yet. So, anyway, I have a few things growing in the garden yet. Some greens, pretty much. Some basil and some rosemary that I want to put in a pot and bring inside. I'll see if I can get it to continue to grow indoors. So cheers! Yep, it's definitely a delicious coffee. I got that at Ollie's a while back, but I don't know if they're going to carry that all the time or if it was just a one-time thing. But I will definitely buy it again if I see it there. So, all right, well, I will meet you over there at the budget book. Okay, back at the budget book. Well, yesterday I didn't spend any money, so that's good. But one of my viewers, I don't know if it's a regular viewer, but anyway, I've explained my budget book strategies numerous times, so I'm assuming not. But one viewer made the comment that I need to stop buying things because my budget book is not working. Well, okay, that's one perspective, but it's not my goal not to spend money. My keeping of the budget book is to make sure that I continue to live within my means. Because I'm a prepper, I'm always going to be buying things. That's just the way it is. And I buy the things I need. I use up the things that I have. If that comes to food or things that I reuse in my house. But there's times where I need new things, and if I can afford them, I will buy them. So, like I said, keeping this budget book, this budget sheet, it's not my goal not to spend money. It's my goal to stay within my budget, and that's what I'm doing. Now, I did go a little outside my budget buying the generator. I could have taken the money out of savings and paid for it, but I made the decision to just do time payments, same as cash, and that way I can put that money towards my deck in the spring, hopefully when it gets done. So I just wanted to put that out there for any confused people. Some months you'll see a lot of red X's. That doesn't mean I've overspent on my budget. It just means I bought things every day, whether that's a cup of coffee, which I rarely buy, or if I buy some produce at the grocery store, or I buy something for my prepper stash, whatever it is. So that's how I do my budgeting. It works for me. May not work for you. And if it doesn't, well, I'm not trying to say everybody has to track their budget this way. I'm just saying this is what works for me. And it makes me go more towards the low spend spectrum as opposed to just buying everything and anything and racking up a lot of credit card debt. So I'm not judging here. You do you. But this works for me, and it's been working for me for 2 or 3 years now. And this way I always get what I want and what I need, and I can move my money around to different areas depending on what it is that I need to spend money on. So anyway, I don't know. I don't need anything right now, but if I take my mom shopping one day this week, I may pick up some fruit. I'm not sure. I have frozen fruit I could use too. So we'll see. So all right, that's it for my budget book chat for today. Okay, my use it up food for today. It's breakfast. I have 2 flour tortillas. They're already getting a little dried out, but that's okay. I'm going to make a breakfast quesadilla. I have 2 eggs, a yellow tomato from the garden. I harvested 2 yesterday. They were tiny, but I'm going to use them up. And some mild white cheddar. And I'm going to make some breakfast this morning and use it up. So these are the last of these 2, but I have a lot of things to make wraps with. I have corn tortillas, I have flour tortillas, I have things for wraps. I want to start using that stuff up. And wraps actually last quite a while, so that's something good to maybe stock up on and stick in your freezer. All right, here we go. Okay, I have a little bit of cut up yellow tomato here. I have my beaten egg. I'm going to add a little bit of this sriracha salt to it. I got that at Dollar Tree. Not too much. I don't want the eggs too salty. And not a whole lot was coming out of there because it's kind of hard in there. So here I have some butter melting in the pan. And I'm just going to pour my beaten egg into there. Now I have that on kind of lower heat because I want this to cook through. Something in the egg there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my egg in there. Alright, and I'm just going to let that cook for a minute. Until it's cooked through. I'm just going to move it around a little bit. Once it starts to set, and then I'm going to add my tomato. And I'm also going to add a little pepper. So I'll be back. This is starting to set, so I'm going to add my tomato. I'm going to add a little salt to the tomato too. So I'm going to just add my tomatoes. You can put in here whatever you want. If you want to put peppers and onions and things, then you cook those ahead a little bit before you add your egg to the pan. So, but everything that I have along those lines is frozen, and this is fine. I just want to use up the tomato. So I'm going to also add some of this cheese, a good amount. And then I'm going to add one of the tortillas on top. Give that a minute. And I'm going to turn the whole thing over if I can get it. Turn the whole thing over. And I'm also going to add a little bit more cheese. Just to get this other tortilla to stick. And I'm going to let that cook for a minute to brown up. Now, like I said, I'm cooking this on fairly low heat because I don't want it to burn. So I'm going to give that a couple minutes and brown up the bottom tortilla, and then I'm going to flip it and brown up this one. So I'll be back when I get that all done. Just flip this over. I'm cooking the other side, and then it'll be all done. And then I'll plate it up. Looks pretty good. All right, here it is, this morning's brunch. Egg and cheese quesadilla with some tomato and a few grapes. You can dip this in ranch if you want, or whatever you like. I'm just going to eat it plain. So let me give this a taste. Turn you around. All right, let's give this a taste. Looks good to me. Nice and cheesy. Good way to use up your leftover tortillas, even if they're getting to be a little stale. Using up cheese. Whatever produce you have hanging around, you can put that in here too. It's quick and it's easy, and using what you have. All right, I'm going to enjoy this. All right, here is my hourly garden task for the day. I trimmed this rose of Sharon. I made it shorter so that it'll bloom nicely next year. Has beautiful purple flowers, double purple flowers. So I trimmed all this off. Lizzie is having a feast here of something.
I pulled out a bunch of lemon balm and cleaned out behind my air conditioner there. So this climbing rose, something ate the leaves off, but I'm going to leave the stems because next year I'm going to have an arch here, and I want to train this climbing rose. It's a Don Juan. It's very fragrant. I want to train that to climb up over the arch. So I trimmed that. Got lots of ivy out from behind the air conditioner. It's not good to have all that growing around. And the lemon balm was growing back there, which I'm going to dry and make tea out of. And this is a lilac that I trimmed. Oh boy. The puppies are hot on the trail of something. And so I have all this lemon balm here that I want to dry, clean and dry. So it looks much better back here now. I still have to cover these chairs. And then, like I said, next year I'm going to train these to go over that way. In between that and the wisteria, it'll make a nice entrance. So I'm going to leave all these begonias until the frost kills them, because I've noticed there's still bees feeding on them, and I imagine their food supply is dwindling fairly quickly. So now I gotta clean all this up, and then we'll see if I have any energy left to do a little bit more. My self-sown lettuce is looking really good. So I have to pull the weeds out of this. And I have a dandelion growing here that I could eat too, but they're kind of bitter. So I took all the dead tomatoes out, but I left these begonias. These all self-seeded themselves as well. So I'm getting there. A few more days and I can call it done. And then I can put the garden to bed till next spring. Still have to cover some of this. Not too much to do yet. I think I'll get it all done before the frost comes. These were really pretty, a polka dot plant. And I suppose I could take cuttings of these and try to root them. I might do that. But I don't want to fill my house with indoor or with outdoor plants right now. I have enough to do in there without worrying about all that stuff. It's kind of windy today, breezy, but it's very, very pleasant. So, okay, there's my garden for the day. Well, I thought I would take advantage of this beautiful day now that I finished my garden chores for the day. And I'm going to relax a little bit, and who knows, I might do a little bit more. I'm not sure. But I'm trying out this microphone that I've had for quite a while. Because it's so windy out here, I thought it might help. Because sometimes it gets kind of loud out here. So I'm just having a cool beverage right now. It's too warm for a cup of coffee. So I'm glad I got that done. That was on my list. So I'm ticking things off as best I can. And it was supposed to rain today, 40% chance, but it's not going to rain now, so unless that happens this evening. And this is probably going to be the last day in the 80s, but you never know. Sometimes that happens in October too. So if you're having a hard time getting started on your tasks, the only way I can get myself moving is if I tell myself, you only have to do a little bit, you only have to work until, you get tired. So if that's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, I just have to get up and start doing something instead of just thinking about it and thinking about it, because the more I do that, the more it weighs down on me. So that's what I'm doing, just getting started, even if it's only 5 minutes, because usually what happens is it turns into a longer period of time, even if it's not my hour that I have planned. So I don't know. That's just what I'm doing to try and motivate myself, because I have so much I have to get done. And this winter, I'm going to work a lot on the inside. So I'm kind of putting that out of my mind right now and just concentrating on one thing at a time. One area of the outside, one area of the house. So it's getting there. And I knew that this month was going to be finishing up the garden. And honestly, if I don't really care about something anymore, if it's something old and starting to fall apart, I'm not even going to cover it anymore. I'm just going to give its fate to the universe and say, okay, if you make it next year, fine. If you don't, then you'll go out in the trash. So I've been doing that with my garden accessories. I've been doing that with all the garden things that aren't looking so good anymore, because I'm trying not to buy a lot of garden tchotchkes. I mean, that's not saying I won't buy any, but I'm trying not to buy a lot of them, and that's kind of my way of downsizing, is just leaving the fate of the object to the weather and to the universe and whatever. So I'm going to enjoy my cold water, listen to my fountain. I'm not going to take that apart yet. I'm going to wait till the last to take that apart, because on nice days I really, really do enjoy sitting here and just listening to the water trickle. And yeah, so all right, well, I'll be back in a little bit.
right, well, in conclusion, it was a productive day. Got things done that I wanted to get done. Still more to do, lots to do. But I wanted to read you an inspirational quote of the day. And then I also wanted to read you a prayer that I have on my refrigerator. And this is it, if you want to take a screenshot of it, but I will read it. So, the inspirational quote of the day is, in any project, the important factor is your belief. Without belief, there can be no successful outcome. And that's by William James. And I love this prayer. So, it goes like this. Lord, I have too much to do, but it's all important. Help me to set priorities so that I don't feel lost in the pace and the pressure. Give me the wisdom and energy to accomplish what's necessary without wasting time or effort. And help me make the best use of my day, remembering that time is a precious gift from you. So I keep that on my fridge, and if I need to, I go and say that little prayer. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.